Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between LawLiet versus 120. We have LawLiet spawning as the yellow Night Elf player here on the bottom left hand side of the map of Concealed Hill, going up against 120, who has spawned as the red undead on the top right. Things unfolding here as things get underway. Let's make some predictions as what we expect to see. Keeper of the Grove with an Ancient of War being built off to the north to get in some archer creeping, and then we'll see perhaps a bit of pressure from the Keeper of the Grove. Meanwhile, Undead is most likely going to be opening up with that, well, Death Knight followed by a couple of ghouls. We'll see if he goes for a creeping pattern or if he tries to do a bit of harassment. With all of that said and done, though, this is being played at a higher level tournament, so there is more on the line, and the players could try and deviate from those strategies, but nope, predictions are correct straight out of the gate. The question will be whether or not that Death Knight tries to make a way or a plan down to the south. Acolyte has already made its way across here. We can see the Death Knight is going to be a bit delayed in getting into position. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove is now going to be popping on out here at the 2-minute 2-second mark. Going to pick up that Gloves of Haste, not even bother to pick up, well, Entangle or Treants as of yet, as the Keeper of the Grove now makes its way out. Death Knight wants to do a little bit of creeping. It comes across a wisp right there. There's a Death Knight with a Death Coil. After a single hit, easy shot off right there, as the Death Knight wants to, well, gain some experience for himself. Going after this Forest Troll Berserker. This is a 4-3-3 creep camp. Will not give level 2. Keeper of the Grove is already out and about trying to get a little bit of damage onto some of those ghouls. There is a, well, entangle onto a ghoul there. Skeletal minions are popping on up. Death Knight could try and come in for that Death Coil save. Who is he going to try and save right there? Is he going to save? That is the question. Another entangle goes down. Death Coil saves one, but the other one may not be as lucky. All right, getting taken down quickly. Keeper of the Grove does have a little bit more experience than the... No, Death Knight actually has a little bit more experience. Not quite sure how. Are we going to see another Death Coil there? Yes, we do. Finally have to catch you live, watching your YouTube videos for over a year. Best streamer. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for the kind words indeed. Keeper of the Grove going after that. After that ghoul there, but ends up getting a 4-unit summoned skeleton surround onto LawLiet's Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove being forced to scroll of Town Portal to head back. Remember, that Keeper of the Grove, well, got to level 2, which means it had a little bit more hit points. It has another skill point. It also means that the Keeper of the Grove resurrection would have just taken just a little longer. And with that little bit longer of a resurrection, well, the Keeper of the Grove would have been out of the count for a little bit too long, thereby making it difficult to try and make up for a bit of lost time. Spending 350 gold to save that Keeper of the Grove wasn't really the reason. It was to make sure that the Keeper of the Grove was still in action and could gain experience at this point in time in the game. The Death Knight, already sitting at level 2 as well, has that Unholy Aura, will be able to make its way down rather quickly, as the Keeper of the Grove wants to try and perhaps get to level 3 first, and then be able to summon in some additional treants and clear up an expansion. Here comes some treants already slow being cast over. Skeletal minion now making its way over. It's going to spot the Tree of Life being constructed here, as the treants are absorbing quite a bit of damage and spells. Kobold Geomancer going to be the last to fall. Treant going to fall right here, but not going to really matter all that much, as the Keeper of the Grove just shy of level 3. Meanwhile, Archer's going after perhaps some skeletal warriors here. Archer now trying to retreat back. Keeper of the Grove is out here as well. Going to get an entangle off on that Death Knight. Death Knight is absorbing quite a little bit of damage. No, well, I don't know if that was a time, life, death, or an experience, or any experience was given, as the Keeper of the Grove now heads back off to the north. Death Knight still wandering around in circles. Keeper of the Grove may try and pick up a Staff of Teleportation or Boots of Speed. Going to be Staff of Teleportation here, as the Archers get in one volley. Are they going to get another volley here? No additional volleys, going straight after the Death Knight. Death Knight trying to go for some Death Coils here, and perhaps get some damage onto those Wisps. One quick, Death Coil there. Is the Wisp going to be able to be saved? Yes, it does. Standing next to the Tree of Ages. Getting pummeled a bit right there. Are we going to see a Death Coil? No Death Coil as of yet. The Wisp doing a little bit of a dance back and forth, as the Death Knight, still absorbing quite a bit of damage, now needs to retreat back. Keeper of the Grove says 2 can play at this, and now goes after the Acolyte off to the north here. The Acolyte only has level 1 Entangle on it, so the Acolyte could still survive a little bit of damage there. One more shot. There's level 3. Gonna try to get off another Entangle onto another unit there, but I don't believe a level 2 Entangle while on Blight finishes off an Acolyte. I'll have to be sure about this here in just a moment. Acolyte makes its way over. There's a Death Coil. Ooh, it gets the save in time, as that level 2 Entangle would have finished it off. Demon Hunter being added in as that second hero. Tree of Life already making its way down to try and establish up a gold mine while tanking a bit of damage. Who came out ahead? That is the question there. Number of workers 12 versus, well, it looks about to be more ghouls on the lumber line right now, as the Death Knight is walking alongside that Lich, perhaps to try and put down a bit of additional pressure. Down to the south here, Tree of Life absorbing quite a bit of damage. The Gnoll Assassins will not change aggro onto a different target until the target that they have actually is poisoned. The Tree of Life cannot get poisoned, and therefore can pretty much absorb that damage all day. In come a couple of wisp here. There's some detonations. Level 3 now on the Death Knight. Level 3 Death Knight. Level 2 Death Coil finishing things off. Lich gonna try and get off perhaps another Frost Nova here. Lich wants to get off of Frost Nova just so it doesn't get more mana burned. That is the question, as the Lich now looks to back away once more. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3, chasing back a little bit. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter in that frontline position, able to absorb quite a bit of damage. You can see all of that poison damage being spread across multiple units from the Gnoll Assassins, as the Wisps are also low on hit points. Coming back through, Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat back. Death Knight and Lich working together. Death Knight does have a little bit of mana, should be able to get off one more Death Coil if necessary. Lich may try to get off another Frost Nova here. Are we going to see that? No Frost Nova. I would have expected the Demon Hunter to try to dive on in and get a mana burn off onto that Lich. Getting mana burned off of that Lich is always so important, as that Frost Nova damage really does start to stack up very quickly. Hippogriffs now in the air. Death Coil, Frost Nova. Are we going to see the Demon Hunter being saved? Demon Hunter down to 3 hit points. Demon Hunter down to 4 and able to escape ever so barely, as we're looking at these skeletal minions getting taken down. Demon Hunter down to 3 hit points, able to retreat back safely, and will try and rejuvenate once more. Keeper of the Grove didn't have enough mana for an Entangle. Lich and Death Knight both low on hit points. Gonna go back, retreat, heal up, pick up an Orb of Corruption, and stand next to an Obsidian statue while on Blight. You can see those hit points, how fastly they are going to be regenerated for those units. Coming back around, Hippogriff Riders, archers in the air with bonus hit points, not as vulnerable to, say, Death Coil, Frost Nova, but, well, it does end up taking a little bit of AoE damage if we perhaps see a Panda thrown into the mix. Doesn't look like that will be the case yet, as the Demon Hunter is still sitting at level 2, and we're looking now at dual Obsidian statues, Lich with Orb of Corruption, and, well, LawLiet will have to go up against that classic undead army with Crypt Fiends, Orb of Corruption, ghouls, Obsidian statues, and maybe eventually transition into 1 or 2 abominations and some destroyers. Alright, looking easily at an Ogre Lord getting trapped between the tavern and the forest right there, getting surrounded up pretty easily. The tavern showing now fairy dragons getting trained up, as the expansion is now fully operational and mining away fairly freely. Off to the north here, this expansion, well, gonna try to be established, will take a little bit of time. Lich gonna be getting to level 2 now after all this time, and meanwhile it looks as though, yep, LawLiet has all of the time in the world, getting up to level 3 on that Keeper of the Grove, and now having level 2 mana burn. Good morning, Burrow Rush. Once again, thank you for the big bits back in the, I think it was almost a month ago now, but yeah, thank you for the big bits. Definitely always a big bit of encouragement to try and still wake up at like, what, 5:30 in the morning to make sure I have time to cast. So no know that that is a little bit of an inspiration there, as the Goblin Zeppelin now going to be making its way off to the north. Is it going to be a drop? There are no Nerubian towers, only the Black Citadel here to try and fend off all of these attacks. The Hippogriff Riders will be able to freely pelt down some of this damage. And now here we go. The timing is going to be absolutely key, as well as the Black Citadel's trying to saturate this gold mine, now needing to try and train up against more as well. Are we going to see an Acolyte fall? Yes, we are. Little bit of mining being lost. Ghouls now getting taken out as well. There goes a ghoul here, as a Destroyer now making its way over. Destroyer, interesting call. I actually have a Destroyer here. Staff of Teleportation. No Staff of Preservation on the unit here, as the Hippogriff Riders could come back around and say, yeah, come on, Destroyer, go after my Demon Hunter who's in a Goblin Zeppelin, as the Destroyer, well, decides against it. The Archers, if they just simply let the Hippogriff Rider peck at the Destroyer, might have been able to actually do a bit of damage. Too bad both units cannot attack at the same time. Mass Air by Night Elf going up against Undead. Are we going to see some Crypt Fiends as well to try and web them down? Pretty common strategy overall for Night Elf to try and deal with this. Meanwhile, on the ground here, Fairy Dragons going after the Forest Troll High Priest. It looks like the Red Drake was already taken down. I don't remember when it was, but yeah, the Red Drake was already taken down. Perhaps the Hippogriffs were able to poke it apart much earlier, as the Goblin Zeppelin now makes its way down to the south as well. So we are going into Ancient of Winds, dual Ancients of Winds, mass Fairy Dragons, and now getting up that Hunter's Hall for that weapons upgrade. Hi Crota, did the RPM also drop for you in December on YouTube? Yeah, RP, like, yeah. All of it's getting dropped. We'll talk about it after this game here. Player, well, LawLiet able to get an entangle off on that Crypt Fiend here. Should be able to be easily saved. Obsidian statue is right there, but there are a good number of tree ants nearby trying to finish things off here. There's a Death Coil for that final bit of save once more, as a Destroyer able to devour that magic. Meanwhile, Hippogriff Riders are going after that Red Drake. Red Drake going to get easily taken down. Should have really dismounted, but then again, the dismounting could have been a little bit of a problem, as the Demon Hunter now trying to use Vampiric Aura and healing up, going after that Ogre Magi. You can see the Ogre Warrior running around in a circle, evasion working quite a bit as well. Tome of Intelligence +2, perhaps the Keeper of the Grove will be able to pick that up, as the Fairy Dragons are over here as well. Keeper of the Grove, a little bit of auto attack damage bonus here. There it is, as the Demon Hunter and Keeper of the Grove will be trying to perhaps Scroll of Town Portal head back. No Scroll of Town Portal, will be forced to walk here, as the ghouls could put in a little bit of pressure. No, there is the Scroll of Town Portal. Where did I miss it? Perhaps it just wasn't updated on the overlay, or my old eyes are deceiving me. Fairy Dragons now coming back around, going to be start going after some of those units. The Destroyers unable to attack the Fairy Dragons. Fairy Dragons with decent 13 to 15 damage here, as the Hippogriff Riders are continuing to engage, even though they are currently webbed down. Hippogriff Riders going after the units here. The fact that the Archers can stand on the Hippogriffs and then make them not as vulnerable to Death Coil Frost Nova does definitely help at 780 hit points, but they still get, well, destroyed pretty quickly as well. More units trying to retreat back. Demon Hunter trying to finish off another Crypt Fiend there. Crypt Fiend down to 50 hit points. Demon Hunter should be able to finish it off with one final shot, as the units are still running back around. Meanwhile, back in the base, Lich going after that Fairy Dragon, only +8 armor. It was webbed down. Orb of Corruption removing quite a bit of armor there, as we see another Mana Burn come across here. Mana Burn, Death Knight now pretty much out of mana, not going to be able to save any more Orb of Venom onto that Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, however, able to retreat back, as the, well, Unholy Aura allowing that Crypt Fiend to escape. More damage heading back on through. Obsidian statues taking a bit of mana flare damage, but not altogether that worried, as the Demon Hunter wants to capitalize and actually deal some finishing damage onto some of these units. The Demon Hunter, without Boots of Speed, unable to catch up to that Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend seemingly just walking around that quickly, as we see another Mana Burn come across. Demon Hunter could try and get in a little bit more heals off of that fairly full Moonwell. That Moonwell is about to bust right there, as we're still looking at more engagement again. Death Knight down to, well, up to 52 mana, still trying to retreat here. Demon Hunter does have that Orb of Venom, gives a departing Mana Burn, as all the units will, well, run back. 55 supply compared to 50. LawLiet sitting in no upkeep, trying to bank up some gold. Meanwhile, well, 120 looking to get in a little bit more experience as well, getting up to level 5 on that Death Knight, dealing quite a bit of damage. And then now with a level 5 Death Knight and a level 4 Lich, could really start to push in and, well, capitalize on a hero level advantage and also an army size advantage. LawLiet still looking to rebuild some of his lost things here, trying to repair up as well. We are getting up improved strength of the wild, trying to get increased damage for these fairy dragons. Meanwhile, where are all of the hippogriff and hippogriff riders? They are nowhere to be seen, in fact, as we're going to be going into an engagement here. Fairy dragons going after those acolytes. Acolyte number 1 down. Acolyte number 2 quickly going to get taken out. Scroll of Town Portal coming back in onto the necropolis. Both sides fighting massive fairy dragons, trying to cause some mana flare problems. Are we going to see Death of a Crypt Fiend? We could. Death of a Crypt Fiend could be right there trying to escape away. No, Destroyer's able to easily devour that magic and save it. Lich still looking to get to level 5 during this time. Meanwhile, Mass Fairy Dragons 2-1 upgrades should be done here in just a moment, as we are going into a Priestess of the Moon for that third and final hero. Are we going to be going into perhaps Massive Orb of Venom to try and get damage over time, allowing the Fairy Dragons to pick off those fleeing units? That may be the case. The amount of damage to be done is already going to be incredibly important. The Fairy Dragons getting, well, a 10% or 20% damage increase if the Priestess of the Moon can get to level 3 for level 2 True Shot Aura. No Well Blessing here. Priestess of the Moon is currently out and about. Death Coil Mana Burn onto the Lich. Lich is currently maxed out on mana. Fairy Dragons are off over here. Are we perhaps going to get in a little bit more heals? Yes, we are going to try and perhaps get into more Mana Burns. Orb of, well, Frost Nova right there, trying to absorb quite a bit of damage. Could try and get some Obsidian statue damage, as we're looking at the Fairy Dragons, it's hunkered down. Fairy Dragons now trying to absorb a little bit of that damage, but the Crypt Fiends are able to, well, just focus them down so quickly. Obsidian statues are taking quite a bit of mana flare damage, though, as they're standing next to each other. They have to be quite a bit careful, as the Fairy Dragons need to make their way back over. Fairy Dragons back over here, 58 supply compared to 76. There's a Crypt Fiend save once more, as we're going to be seeing some dead Crypt Fiends. No, burrowed Crypt Fiend able to stay alive. There's Dust of Appearance, going to finish one off. Demon Hunter, Potion of Invulnerability, going to be able to stick around for quite a while. Fairy Dragons, so many of them are currently webbed down. You can see that the Crypt Fiends continuing that fight once more, maybe increasing the animation time on those Crypt Fiends, as it's just an auto cast causing so many problems. Obsidian statues completely getting mana flared out like mad, as the Demon Hunter could have a little bit of problems, down to 200 hit points. Going to try and get saved. Is it going to get Staff of Preservation back? Yes, it does. But the Death Knight is going to be able to get anything off. Death Knight, no, doesn't have enough mana. Death Knight now, or Demon Hunter coming back around, may be able to get off a mana burn onto that Death Knight. Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble, as the, well, Death Knight ends up being able to escape at 89 hit points. One Crypt Fiend down. Second Crypt Fiend. Oh, 2 units being left behind here. Destroyer down to 108 hit points. Demon Hunter trying to retreat back here. Destroyer down to 31 hit points. One more attack with the Orb of Venom. It gets taken down. Obsidian statue could get taken down as well. Demon Hunter does have Boots of Speed, able to close in on that distance. One more shot finishes off another Destroyer, or another Obsidian statue, and that was a big swing there. Could have been an easy win by 120, leaving that fight with an easy 25 to 28 supply lead, suddenly giving more experience to the Demon Hunter, who is now creeping towards level 5 and taking down an Obsidian statue and a Destroyer. Priestess of the Moon, however, has not really leveled up all that much. It really needs to gain some experience there. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4, it's not going to matter all that much, as the Keeper of the Grove, well, as the Keeper of the Grove here is not going to be able to, Keeper of the Grove off over here isn't going to be able to use those spells very effectively with that many Destroyers. I think Mass Air is good, but a bit hard if Undead has Expo. Yep, could be the case here, as Mass Crypt Fiends now trying to push into position here. We are looking at the main base, Nature's Blessing, trying to get added in. We are at 900 gold, only about a minute and a half of mining left. Ghouls going to easily get taken down there, or as the Ghoul, actually no, not easily taken down, just running around in circles. Fairy Dragon, Scroll of Town Portal heading back the other way. Fairy Dragon's now going to try and retreat. Oh, Goblin Sapper finished all 3 Acolytes off there, as the Ziggurat almost got taken down. All right, more damage coming back across here. We are looking at a couple of webbed down Fairy Dragons. The Crypt Fiends able to finish them off. Death Knight gets up to level 6, as we see a tactical retreat once more. I think if you also just made Crypt Fiends don't give them the ability to autocast web, that would be a big enough difference, right? Right? Raiders have ensnare, Dragonhawk Riders have shackle, but those are all you have to actually manually cast. It takes a little bit of focus and energy. All of these Crypt Fiends here, hey, look, I have auto web on, and let me just web your entire army because I can do that. Anyways, coming back around, autocast web needed. All right, Demon Hunter quickly getting taken down, blasted right there. Level 6 Death Knight and a level 6 Lich, more than enough to finish things off. LawLiet really just ended up falling behind in terms of the hero level race. That is the problem. Once Undead gains a large number of Crypt Fiends, with that auto casting web, they're able to bring down those fairy dragons. Fairy dragons don't have that many hit points, and they are just absolutely torn apart. Auto cast web is needed, but the animation time needs to be nerfed. Imba, yeah, do you... nothing much, just hanging out. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments below. Really just a strong game coming in from 120. LawLiet seemed to be constantly playing from behind once the Undead expansion was propped up, and the Undead was able to gain a bit of a hero level advantage over 120 was able to get a hero level advantage over LawLiet. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.